To music of all genres who've had significant contributions to this city, connections to Nashville. Today, we are honoring two of the biggest artists in any genre of music, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. They will become stars 73 and 74 on the Walk of Fame. The Walk of Fame project, well, it's part of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau, the Corporation Foundation Music City, Inc., but of course it wouldn't be possible without our great sponsors. We want to recognize our founding sponsor, Gibson Brands. We want to thank Henry Juskowitz, CEO, Dave Berryman, President, and the entire Gibson family for their support. So a round of applause if you would, please. We want to recognize the Hilton, Nashville Downtown, Made First, and David Anderson, guitar slinger, right there he is, for their continued support. I also want to introduce those joining me on stage today. First, Mayor Barry. A special thank you to our mayor and her staff for their support along the way. And she is joined today, there he is, seated right next to her, very special guest. That is Zachary Cecil. He is with Rosa Park Middle Magnet School, serving as student mayor for the day today. And when Butch Spiriton pointed out earlier, or Joe Galante, one of them mentioned to him, hey, 7 years, he was on. He said, yeah, that sounds good to me, 7 years. I'll be running. We have Christy Smith, chair of the Metro Parks Board of Directors. Hi, Christy. You may note that the Walk of Fame Park is a part of our beautiful city park system. As I mentioned, the Walk of Fame is a project of the Music City Foundation and the Nashville Convention and Visitors Bureau. Here representing the NCBC, Beth Courtney, chairman of the board. She's right there. And Butch Spiriton, who's right over here, your president and CEO. The NCBC staff produces this great event for the city, and we thank you all for your efforts. Finally, we're joined by a group of very special fans who have traveled many miles to be here for this ceremony. Since the very first induction ceremony, Music City has celebrated a very diverse group of artists, from the Fisk Jubilee singers to the Kings of Leon. We've celebrated singers, songwriters, producers, conductors, business executives, and musicians. Each of these individuals have one thing in common. They have each had a creative impact on Music City and our incredible musical heritage. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw are certainly no exception, as their accomplishments and contributions have been immeasurable to Nashville. To help honor them, please make welcome Mayor Megan Barry.
Great day, and welcome everybody, and thank you, Bill, for that kind introduction. I want to take a quick second to recognize some other elected officials who are with us. We have Council Member Freddie O'Connell is with us, Council Member Robert Swope is with us, and Council Member Mary Carolyn Roberts is with us. Thank you all for being here. I also want to thank Butch Spiriton and the rest of the Nashville Convention and Visitors Corporation for all they do to make this a success. And I know that Zach was already introduced here on stage. I want to tell you why Zach is the mayor today. Zach read the most books this summer during the Mayor Challenge, and so that led him to be mayor for the day. I just had the opportunity to be with Governor Haslam, and Governor Haslam and I both said, gosh, if it had only been that easy. So thank all of you for joining us today as well. This is one of my favorite places in our city. All you have to do is soak up the music history as you stroll along these great stars. I appreciate that we have this very unique way to thank and honor the individuals who have contributed so much to Music City. And it's fitting that we do it right here in the shadow of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum at Bridgestone Arena and the Schermerhorn Symphony Center behind me. And speaking of iconic music venues, let's see a show of hands of who was there at the Ryman last night to see Faith and Tim perform. I hear it was an incredible show in the Mother Church of country music. As mayor, I am so grateful for not only the music that Tim and Faith have created, individually and sometimes together, but also for all of the work that they do in our community, which Bill is going to talk about. From raising money for the flood relief in 2010, to generously supporting organizations such as Habitat for Humanity, the Vanderbilt Kennedy Center, through their Neighbors Keeper Foundation, Faith and Tim have consistently given back to our city. As Tim sings in his recent #1 single, Humble and Kind, don't steal, don't cheat, don't lie. I know you got mountains to climb, but always stay humble and kind. When the dreams you're dreaming come to you, when the work you put in is realized, let yourself feel the pride, but always stay humble and kind. And that is what Faith and Tim do every day. They are faithful to our city, and they are humble and kind. And by the way, they've also made some really great music together. Because when Faith Hill moved here from Mississippi about 30 years ago, she brought something with her to Music City that most newcomers can't just throw in the back of a U-Haul. She brought a stunning voice, a kind that can move mountains, win Grammys, and sells millions of records. And around that same time that Faith was making her way to Music City, Tim McGraw was starting to discover his own unique talents down in Louisiana. And soon enough, he moved here too. Tim has a great voice, a certain way of picking, and the kind of charisma that more than just a few filmmakers have wanted to put on that screen. So Tim and Faith, I thank you for all that you've done for music and for our community. Congratulations on this incredible honor, and congratulations on your 20th wedding anniversary.
One of the most notable things about Nashville's artists is how much they give back to this community. You don't often hear these efforts, but they do come from the heart. Nashville is home, truly home to them, and they take great pride in lending their talents to help their fellow neighbors and our city. Tim and Faith are great examples of this. Sam and Audrey. They're so cute at that age. Hello. Together, they helped the city after the devastating 2010 flood by conducting a national interview, walking alongside Anderson Cooper, showing him the devastation, and helping the world see both the damage and Nashville's resilient spirit. They helped send the message to the world that Nashville was recovering and also open for business. They also spearheaded Nashville Rising, a national benefit that raised $2 million for flood recovery in the city. They're huge supporters of sports in Nashville. The Tennessee Titans, Nashville Predators, and can be found most Friday nights in the fall of the year at their children's high school football games. Together, they've given back tremendously to Nashville, and today we individually welcome them to the Music City Walk of Fame. Our first inductee is Faith Hill. Faith is one of country music's top-selling and most awarded female artists with multiple Grammys, CMA, American Music, and People's Choice Awards. She has consistently broken chart records with her #1 singles, This Kiss, Breathe, Cry, There You'll Be. Faith has multiple albums topping both the Billboard Country Chart, the Top 100 chart simultaneously. Has sold more than 30 million albums all over the world. Her 3 network television specials garnered top ratings. She's performed on every major award show, including twice on the Academy Awards. In 2000, she performed the national anthem to a global audience of over 88.5 million viewers at Super Bowl 34 in Atlanta. Who could forget? And is the only country artist, and one of the, well, there are only 3 to perform the Star-Spangled Banner, God Bless America, both at the Super Bowl. Next fall, she'll co-produce an innovative new daytime talk show out of Nashville, partnering with former Oprah executive producer Lisa Erspermer. And here to introduce Faith is a woman who truly needs no introduction. One word says it all. Reba.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for coming out on such a beautiful Tennessee day. It is my pleasure to get to introduce a good friend of mine. I've known her forever, and I thought, well, shoot, I know everything about Faith. And I thought, ooh, well, wait a minute, just in case I don't, I went to Wikipedia, and I did find out that she worked at McDonald's before. I didn't know that. Okay, that's the only thing I didn't know about her. But she's had some great jobs. She's taken care of all of us here in Nashville with her beautiful voice and her great heart, her literacy programs. She's just been giving so much. And in the meantime, she raised 3 beautiful girls, took care of Tim, and has time. Does this to you a lot, I'm sure. And still has time to be a friend and just a wonderful person. So it is my honor to get to introduce to you the latest recipient of Music City Walk of Fame, my friend, Faith Hill.
Okay, that was epic. I love that woman, Reba McEntire. She knows how much I love her. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love her. I've never been quiet about that fact. So thank you, Reba, for giving me this hot plaque from a hot woman. Mayor Barry, thank you so much. Bill Cody, all of you have done so much for this community of Nashville. We are a small community, yes, but we are growing, yes. But we will always remain, and the people that live around this place will always remain, you know, just good old-fashioned folk that welcome people from around the globe. And that's what makes me so proud to be a Nashvilleian. That is what makes me so proud, Tim and I both, to raise our children here. And yes, Bill, as you pointed out, I did come here 30 years ago. I am very proud to be 49 years old. In case you didn't do the math. There's so many people out here that are more responsible for all of my success than I am. Thank you all so much. I love every single one of you. To the fans, we all know that nothing would be possible without you, truthfully. To our family, Lord, thank you, I love you so much. My big brother, thank you. Sorry. Okay, he used to buy my clothes for me when I would sing back in Mississippi, rodeos, fairs, rest homes, prisons, wherever I would sing. Steve was the only one in our family that had any money because he worked so hard. I have an older brother too, Wesley, who's back home in Mississippi, but Steve would buy me, sometimes looking back, they're not so pretty, but I did pick them out myself, so it's not your fault, but thank you. Thank you so much. And God bless you. God bless this town of Nashville, Tennessee, and I am so honored to accept this star on the Walk of Fame!
Ladies and gentlemen, Faith Hill. This is the unveiling of the star. There'll be several pictures taken here, but this is the actual moment in time, so we're getting our photographers and camera crews in place. Star 73 in the Music City Walk of Fame. Faith Hill. 1973 in the Music City Walk of Fame. Faith Hill. Some of you out there may not have heard this, but Faith, if you come here. How long did you work at McDonald's, Faith? That reference that Reba made just a little earlier.
2 weeks.
Thank you. That's the part you didn't hear. Oh, it was our good fortune, wasn't it? Huh? Our next inductee is Tim McGraw. He has sold more than 50 million records worldwide and dominated the singles charts with a stunning 41 number one singles. He is currently riding the Billboard Country Airplay chart with 3 singles in the top 20, a feat that he was the first to achieve, now the first to achieve for a second time. He's the most played country artist since his debut in 1992. 2 singles, spending over 10 weeks at number 1. Live Like You Were Dying. Yeah. And the genre breaking over and over. His recent multi-week number 1, Humble and Kind, that Barry sang so beautifully a little bit earlier. 59th release to hit top 10 or better and spawned his second New York Times bestseller book. Tim's film credits include blockbusters Friday Night Lights, the Oscar-winning Blind Side. He was in the feature film The Shack. To induct Tim, ladies and gentlemen, would you welcome back Reba McEntire?
Okay, so I don't know Tim as well as I know Faith. And I'll tell you how long I've known Faith. We were in Hawaii playing golf, and Shelby was on the golf course with us. I think he was maybe 4 or 5. And no, he's probably like 4. And so they get to the hole, and Shelby looks up at Faith. He said, "Faith, I told you and I told you, you got to concentrate." Little bitty boy training on Faith Hill. Too funny. Well, I called my buddy Scott Borchetta this morning and I said, okay, give me a good story on Tim. Well, he said that, oh, why are you saying, oh my gosh? I did edit a few of these. But he said that May 9th, 1989, very Memorial Day, memorable day, not a Memorial Day. He said Tim McGraw came to Nashville on the Greyhound bus, not far from where we are right now. And Tim signed with Scott Borchetta over at Big Machine Records in 2012. Well, Scott told me this story about Tim. He said, Scott said when they got the contract ready for Tim to sign, Tim had a great idea. Tim and his family were down in the islands, and he called and said, hey, we're flying back tomorrow, and I want you to meet me at the bus station. That's where I want to sign our record contract. Scott said, so I'm in front of the bus station with the contract, and 10 minutes later, here comes Tim and Faith rolling up in a big SUV straight from the airport. Hop out of the SUV, we hug, high five, talk about a minute or two, sign the contract, and they hop back in the SUV and leave. He said it was surreal. People are walking back and forth saying, is that Tim McGraw at the bus station? Right now, as Bill said, he's on the eve of his 60th top 10 record, and he has right now 3 singles in the top 15. That's pretty incredible. Okay, so Bill pretty much said everything I was going to say. I just want to say that I've loved Tim with all my heart, and Tim and Faith have done so much for Nashville. They've done so much for me because friendship in this business is the #1 thing. You fans see how well we all get along. That's very special for us that y'all see that we like each other. Yes, we compete, but we're always pulling for each other also. That's what kind of great business the country music business is. So, I want to introduce to y'all a good-looking hunk of man, Tim McGraw.
Thank you, gosh, wow. Thank you, Reba. Thank you, Mayor Bill. You know, those that know me know that I don't talk a whole lot. My wife does most of that. But it's so good to be here on a beautiful day in a city that I love so much, with so many people that I love so much here around me. Can't look at them all. I moved here in 1989, got on a Greyhound bus, had a guitar and a suitcase, stepped off the bus and went to a bar, and set in with a band. And I set in with a band that Craig Wiseman was playing drums in at the Hall of Fame Lounge. And Craig Wiseman wrote "Live Like You Were Dying," amongst other songs that I recorded, and he was playing drums at the time, and he had just gotten his first cut by Roy Orbison back then at the time. So that's the way my first day started off in Nashville. And that night I sat in a hotel room with Tommy Barnes, who wrote Indian Outlaw, and he played me Indian Outlaw my very first night here in Nashville. That's my introduction to the music business when I first moved to town. I spent a lot of time here, like most dreamers do when they come to this town. You want to get involved in the music business. You want to meet a lot of people. You want to learn as much as you can about it. I spent a lot of time down on Printer's Alley at Skulls Rainbow Room. That's where I cut my teeth. I sang there every night as much as people would let me sing. I sang all over this town. And that was back when that's what we all did. We all ran around together. Kenny, Tracy, all of us ran around together and played bars together. And we had a great time. I love this city. I knew when I moved here that whether I was going to be toting somebody's guitar case or if I was going to be pushing a road case around, that this is what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, and this is where I was going to live. Fortunately for me, I had a lot of great people around me. I had the support of my family for sure. When I told them I was going to quit college and move to Nashville, they said, "Go ahead, go do it." I've had so many wonderful friends, so many people who stood beside me, so many people who supported me, so many people who had my back at times when maybe I didn't deserve it. And I want y'all to know that I appreciate that. The best thing that happened to me is in 1996, I went on a tour called Spontaneous Combustion Tour. And I had a really hot chick. And I fought, and I fought, and I fought to stay away from her as long as I could. And that lasted about as long as her job at McDonald's. I'm not going to go into detail, but it was a great tour, I can tell you that. And out of that, tomorrow comes 20 years of marriage. And 3 beautiful, well-established, opinionated, strong young women who live in Mountain. And they're that way not because of anything I did, because they have a great role model in their mom. So again, thank y'all for having us here this evening. I'm proud to be here with my wife to share this moment, to be here with my family who I love so much. My fans who mean everything to me. Who have also stood beside me at times when maybe they shouldn't have, and I appreciate that. All my team that's been with me, Mike Borchetta, Scott's dad, who signed me to my first record contract a long time ago when nobody else would even listen to me. He believed in me. And to be back again with the Borchetta to finish out my career, hopefully, it's a wonderful thing for me. So thank you, Nashville. I love this town. I love the people here. I love the spirit that this city has. I hope that I can grow old and die in my bed in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank y'all very
Star 74 in the Music City Walk of Fame.